My name is Dr. Maurice Pitesky, and welcome back to the Sitch, a bi-monthly show from the UC Davis School of Veterinary Medicine Cooperative Extension. Today, we're going to talk about how do you know if your chickens have salmonella. Hint, you cannot tell just by looking at your chickens or their poop. It's not that easy. So before we talk about how do I know if my chickens have salmonella, what even is salmonella? So salmonella is a species of bacteria that lives in the gut of many animals and can cause GI problems. Food poisoning from salmonella can be associated with all kinds of different foods. However, poultry, not salmon, is the most commonly linked food associated with salmonella. Note, there's currently no bacteria called chickenella, and mozzarella comes from cows. Anyway, some types of salmonella make you sick and some types don't. Some types make chicken sick and some don't. Unfortunately, the ones that make chicken sick don't often make human sick, and the ones that make us human sick often don't make chicken sick. This makes food safety difficult because if the salmon that make us sick also make chicken sick, we could easily remove those sick chickens from the food supply, but it just doesn't typically work that way, unfortunately. So although you are never taught to assume things because it can make an ass out of you and me, in this situation, you should assume your chickens are carriers of salmonella. This is particularly important if you have kids or immunocompromised folks in your household. So aside from assuming that your chickens have salmonella, how do you know whether or not your chickens have salmonella? Well, you basically have two options if you really want to go the extra mile. You can send a drag swab, which is basically like a little 4x4 sterile swab of your poultry environment. You kind of rub the swab on the ground where the chickens poop. We're going to provide a link at the end of this to show you kind of how to do that in a little more detail. But you can send that sample or send that swab to a diagnostic lab to test whether salmonella is present or absent. The second choice is when your chickens inevitably die or one of your chickens dies, you can send again the whole chicken now to a diagnostic lab for a chicken autopsy, where again they can test for salmonella inside the chicken. The diagnostic labs run all kinds of fancy tests, and they will ultimately identify the actual type or serotype of salmonella, which is really, really important because that gives you a little more understanding of risk and food safety. Big picture, if the test comes back negative or positive, it's still best to assume that your chickens have salmonella and other bacteria that could cause human illness. So regardless of what information you seek and regardless of the results, cook all poultry, eggs, and meat to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. In summary, err on the side of caution, assume your chickens are carriers, and don't be that guy or girl on the internet that kisses their chicken or uses the same apron when they're cooking or when they're holding their chickens. Not a good thing. So I hope this is helpful, and as always, if there are any topics you would like covered on future episodes of The Sitch, please reach out to me at drpuck@ucdavis.edu. Thanks.